Steve in D.C.
No doubt about it. One of the funniest guys, I think, probably on the planet.
Yes. They just don't get any better than our next
Brian
guest.
Regan.
Brian Regan. What did you say, Brian? Did you say Brian Regan?
I just wonder how many times he's had that happen. He's gone to a radio station, and the disc jockey says, coming up next, our comedian guest, Brian Regan, everybody.
That doesn't bother me at all. It doesn't. I'm serious. It's close enough, you know.
Yeah.
No complaints.
As long as they get the first name right.
Welcome back. Hey, it's good to be back.
Good to see you, man.
Thanks for having me.
How's life?
Everything is really good.
Yeah, the wife's good, the kid good.
The wife is good and the kid is good.
Well, how old's the kid now?
The kid, it just sounds kind of impersonal that way.
Yeah, the kid is good.
Yeah, the wife and the kid, they're good.
Brian is raising a goat, in case you wonder.
Now, how old is your sweet child, Brian?
He is 2.5.
What's his name?
Christopher.
Christopher.
The other night, Kathleen and I, we take turns rocking him to sleep at night,
sure.
And you get that, 20 minutes where you just rock him. It's kind of nice. And Christopher's at the age now where he's starting to talk and ask things. He's kind of curious about things. And it was like silent for about 5 minutes. And he goes, Daddy? And I'm like, yeah, Christopher. He goes, who let the dogs out? I swear. I was like, oh my gosh.
You don't even have dogs.
I don't even know how to answer that, Well, I don't know. That's what no one knows who let them out, Chris. That's why they keep asking that.
Something different about you today. Wait, it's the glasses.
Oh.
You didn't have those last time you were here, did you?
I don't remember. I guess not, apparently.
No, I think you...
I believe you did.
Because, you did that whole hysterical routine about wearing contacts. So that's why I know.
And would you do that again for us now?
Well, actually, I had to go again, and, because you keep getting, rechecked. And this last time I was there, they asked if I wanted to try trifocals.
I've never heard of anything like trifocals.
I had not heard of them either. And I was like, I must have been away a while because I don't know what you're talking about. And he goes, well, it's what you would think. You can see at 3 different distances depending on where you look through the lens. You can see close or medium or far away. And I'm like, I can't even imagine getting used to that. There's a book, there's a plane, there's Alpha Centauri! Do people need this kind of range? Is that a fly on my nose? Is that a comet? Hey, you need to see everything.
Why would you need to see 3 different distances? That makes no sense.
So you're not wearing those this morning, are you? Those are not trifocals.
These actually are trifocals.
Really?
These are trifocal lenses. They're kind of like progressive, but there's 3 different areas of the lens.
Really?
And she said, you just got to like work your head around, to be looking at the right thing. When I lay in bed to watch TV with my glasses on, I have to turn my head completely so it's focused beeline at the TV. If I got my head on my pillow and I'm looking to the side, I can't even see this. I got to like turn my bed, it's like a nightmare.
Horrible. Well, they look good on you.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, they look good on you.
There's something about it that makes you look intellectual,
It does,
Brian.
absolutely.
Well, let me turn. Hang on, I got to see who I'm talking to. Okay.
I'm over here.
Oh, okay. Wait, hey, They can't be safe for driving.
No, you're not driving, are you?
Of course I didn't see them, officer. I'm wearing trifocals. They weren't in the exact center of my lenses. You didn't see the stop sign. I saw a red blob.
Now, I'm sure with getting these new trifocals, I know one of your favorite things to do. I know you love visiting doctors of all kind. I know you love going.
He's not a hypochondriac like we are, is he, DC?
I think he might be.
We tend to be a little on the hypochondriac side. Oh, yeah.
You think you have the anthrax, don't you? You're already concerned about it.
No, it's in the anthrax thing. It's just like a trip that the symptoms are exactly like the flu, which is just freaking everybody out. Because if you cough or sniffle, poor 911, I got anthrax. No, you've got the sniffles.
They're getting a lot of that.
Just calm down, yeah.
Right. You know what killed me at the beginning of that whole thing was, at first they had, sent the letters to NBC and ABC and CBS and I think the New York Times and then the city of Reno.
Yeah.
I mean, How did that fit into the mix? You know, what was their beef with the city of Reno? We're coming after your icons. We're coming after your U.S. Congress, your major media outlets, and we're coming after Reno. We've had it up to here with Reno. Reno?
True. It's time to take out the gamblers, apparently.
Yeah, well.
But as far as the doctor thing, I just, I go, when you're supposed to go for your regular checkups. And the last time I was there, I'm just sitting in there, you're sitting on the thing, and the guy, he goes, well, you should probably drop a few pounds, And I was like, well, thank you. Only your doctor has carte blanche on insults. He can just pummel you and send you on your way. Boy, you should lose some weight, and those moles are looking pretty weird. All right. How much for that, Doc? When can we get together again? Big fat mole man walking out of your office. Thanks for the confidence booster. I'm off to the Macy's Day Parade. Grab a rope. What does he care? Oh, God.
You pay the man, they insult you.
Yeah, and then in some ways, I guess one thing I've noticed about doctors is they very rarely use the word pain. Mm-hmm. I guess that's like a buzzword. They try not to scare their patients or whatever. What they use instead, I've noticed, is the word pressure.
That is true. They do. Yeah, a little pressure.
A little pressure. I guess they figure everybody thinks, I can handle some pressure,
A little pressure.
You're going to feel some pressure here.
If a doctor tells you you're going to feel some pressure, buckle up. In the moment, you're going to feel a little bit of pressure. Oh, well. But then, you think about it. All pain is pressure, he could be swinging a 2x4 at your head. In a moment, you're going to feel a little bit of pressure. Hey, who can't handle a little pressure on the side of his head? It's just pressure.
It's just a little pressure. That's so true. Brian Regan is our guest, comedian Brian Regan, the only man on the planet who is not caved in and doesn't have a website yet. And I like that. It's refreshing.
I do too.
My gas station attendant's got a website.
Absolutely. Usually got a website. First thing through the door, usually with our guests, you got to promote my website.
Yes, but Brian does not have one set up. If you want a Brian Regan CD, for example, you go to the CD store.
You do it the old-fashioned way.
You go in, you get your Brian Regan live CD.
Right.
But Brian's comedy, his stories have affected my life in many different ways. For example, I had to go to the emergency room about 2 months ago. Had a little scare, had some pain in my side.
Pressure.
Some pressure. And it wouldn't go away, so finally I went to the ER. And I ended up laughing in the lady's face when she looked at me and she said, could you rate your pain on a scale of 1 to 10?
Yeah, right.
Because I'd never heard that question before, and I immediately flashed back to Brian Regan. At the time, I guess you had to go to were you in the ER? Where were you?
I went to the emergency room because when I went, it was 2 o'clock in the morning, so I couldn't go to my regular doctor.
So
and I had to go to the emergency room, and that's one of the questions they ask is, well, I went in there, and it started by saying, this pain is killing me. Do you have a painkiller? She goes, well, how would you describe your pain? It's killing me. I don't know if you recall that part.
Ouch.
Yeah, ouch. Yeah, it's like the $10,000 pyramid. Excruciating. Horrific. Would rather have shards of glass in my eyes. So that's what they do. To narrow it down, they say, how would you rate it? How would you rate your pain on a scale of 1 to 10? Well, I don't know what you said, but when they asked me that, saying a low number isn't going to help you.
Right,
oh, I'm a 2. Maybe the high 1s. If you could get me a baby aspirin and cut it in half and maybe a Flintstone vitamin, and I'll be out of your hair. What number did you choose?
Well, I chose a high one because of you. I said about an 8. You know, of course they give you a little speech. They say, 1 being, 10 being the worst pain you've ever had in your life, and 1 being just, sort of an average pain. So how would you rate it between 1 and 10? So I said, well, it's an 8. Mm-hmm. Now go get something.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say 10, and then I thought. I had heard that the worst pain that a human can endure is getting the femur bone cracked in half. That's what I had heard.
The femur.
So I thought, well, I can't say 10 because that's reserved for the femur, the femur people. And then I was thinking, what was I worried about? Is there like a femur ward at the hospital? They'd hear about me and hobble into my room. Who the heck had the audacity to say they were at a level 10? You know nothing about 10. Give me a sledgehammer. Let me show you what 10 is all about, Mr. Tummy Ache.
Oh, God. And Brian, I read recently won, I guess it wasn't recently, but he has won in the past Club Comedian of the Year. Is that right?
Yeah, well, me and my 3 friends, we vote on this, and looks good in the press kit.
Self-proclaimed club.
You're the first person to call me on it.
But to win it, to win something like that, I mean, how often are you on the road? How many days out of a 365-day year are you out on the road?
I go out like 2 weeks out of every month.
Okay, so you spend a lot of time out there, and I'm told that you are a collector of things when you go out on the road. You look for things.
You take things home that you pick up on the road.
I don't know. I'm trying. I've been watching this Antiques Roadshow,
yes.
and apparently there's like money, to be made by.
You never know if it's junk or
having
treasure.
Stuff, And, I watch the show, and my favorite part is the people in the background, that are just like, all wide-eyed. But I would like to get on the show and, just go stand in line for like 3 hours with an old rusty spatula, and just...
That's our next honky bit. We gotta do that.
Just finally hand it to the guy and have him go, is there some type of story associated with this? Well, it was in my kitchen drawer, and I couldn't open it because the spatula was sticking up. So I thought maybe it was from Babylon. Well, do you see how this says Kmart on it? Would you be surprised if I told you this was absolutely worthless? Nah. When is this gonna air?
Do you find yourself watching a lot of stuff like that? Like these odd channels, the Food Network, and the these antique shows, things like that. Do you like that?
I watch all kind. I like watching political stuff, and I'm kind of intrigued with the Kennedys. They're just like
what a family,
terrific speakers. Like John Kennedy said, "Ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country."
That's right.
And then Robert Kennedy said, "Some people look at things the way they are and ask why. I look at things that never were and ask why not."
Very good.
And I'm like, okay, wait a second. You look at it, huh? Wait, huh? I mean, it's powerful, but it must have been weird growing up with him speaking in flip-flops around the dinner table. Ask not if someone can pass a salt and pepper to you. Ask if you can pass a salt and pepper to someone. Some people look at cream corn and ask why. I look at cream corn and ask why not. And then Ted's like, are there any more rolls? How we doing with rolls? You got any rolls down that way?
Let's grab a couple of calls here real quick. 1-800-9-WAKE-UP is the phone number, or 314-969-9696. Rick is calling with a request. Hello, Rick.
Hi, how you guys doing this morning?
Doing good. You're on with Brian Regan.
Very good. Hey, I just want to tell, too, real quick, I looked on the Internet, and I did find some information on Brian.
You did?
Oh. And I was just looking to see if I could buy, if you had another CD out there.
I just have the one, but I appreciate you looking, man.
Did you dig up some dirt on Brian?
What'd you find? I'm kind of worried where this is going.
Some of his past convictions.
I did find.
You were told that Clean Huber would never make it in society today. and it just had a little bit of information on you. I don't even know what the website was. I just searched Brian Regan, and this came up.
And some stuff popped up. Well,
Right.
That's a good point. One of the things I love about taking folks to a Brian Regan show, you can take your mama.
Yep.
You would never be, like uncomfortable around them. It really is an incredible show.
They also did, though.
True.
They found a
I'm gonna
picture
find
of.
out this weekend.
Okay, hang on. Dan's trying to say something.
They found a picture of Brian's head on Pam Anderson's body too, which was
Well,
just a little much.
Hey,
that
could
was
you,
Pam Anderson. I thought that was you, Brian.
Could you forward that to me? I'd love to see that, Rick.
so that's why he's coming out.
Now,
Rick has a request.
And, I want to ask Brian, how do you make a word a plural?
Yeah.
How do you make a word a plural? My teacher used to ask me that. I was not very good in school, and one of the things with making plurals, Brian, how do you make a word a plural? You put a S. You put a S at the end of it. When? At the end of the word. I mean, because the whole plural thing was just a trip, what's the plural for goose? Geese. What's the plural for moose? Mooses. Moosin. Oxen. Moosin. I don't know. I wasn't very bright, as you can tell.
let's grab Jason real fast for Brian Regan. Hello, Jason.
Hey, Brian, how's it going?
Good, man. How you doing?
Hey, yeah, Stephen DC, hey to you, too.
Hey, Jason.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I'm down here in Macon, Georgia, and I was listening to you for the first time, and had me rolling.
Thanks,
So I was
man.
wondering if you're coming here anytime soon. It'll be the Comedy Cafe here.
Macon or Atlanta?
I'm actually going to be in Atlanta, which is, about 2 hours north of there.
About
and
that.
I'll be there in December at the Punchline in Atlanta.
Oh,
Macon, I haven't been there in a while, but I did a charity gig in Macon. It's a beautiful city.
Yes, but in December at the Punchline in Atlanta. Now, I understand off the air, Brian was telling us a little story about an incident that he had in Georgia, though, with a lady after one of his shows there in Atlanta. One of the fans came up, and she wasn't very happy about some of your jokes, was she?
I did a show at the Punchline in Atlanta. This woman comes up to me after the show, and she goes, "You took those jokes from the man on the radio this morning."
Happens all the time.
like she couldn't make the leap that, maybe I'm the man on the radio.
Maybe that was the guy.
You took him. You took him from the man. The man on the radio.
Now, Brian, one thing that you'll learn if you hang out here long enough is that we're all big fans of food.
We love to eat, man.
Food people.
Hey,
Stunned, aren't you? Look at us.
I like food myself, man.
Yeah.
Now, when I went to my doctor, for the last time, he told me to read food labels because of the cholesterol and all that.
Oh, yeah.
And so I'm looking at the Fig Newton's label. You ever read that one?
No.
Oh, that's a good read.
That's a good read.
I'm not going to give away the ending. But I'm in the store reading the Fig Newton's label, and everything looked okay, the fat content and everything. I looked at the serving size. 2 cookies. Who eats 2 cookies?
Nobody.
I eat Fig Newtons by the sleeve. 2 sleeves is a serving size. I open them both and eat them like a tree chipper. Fig Newton shavings coming off the side. Then I put a Newton catcher and empty that bag out as a snack. What are they talking about, 2 Fig Newtons? They're the size of a postage stamp. Do you want another one? Oh, no. I've already had 2 whole entire Fig Newtons. Maybe I could try to muscle one more down, but I don't think I'm going to. I am stuffed to the rafters. They're nuts. We got an ER here. We got a 3 Fig Newton eater. People pounding on his chest. How many did he have? Doesn't he read?
Oh, man. And There's another thing in relation to food that you've kind of affected me with, Brian, and that is I can't look at a box of Pop-Tarts now without giggling a little bit because of the instructions that they have there.
Sure, they have directions on there for you.
On a Pop-Tart.
On a Pop-Tart. They have to be the simplest food item on the planet, and they have directions on the box. Like, if the directions weren't on there, would somebody just, like, put the box down? Hey, how do I get that goodness in me? Where do you go? Who do you call? And they have two sets of directions. They have toaster directions,
yes,
which, believe it or not, is more than one step. I don't know how you'd need any steps, but at most there would be one. Step one, toast the Pop-Tarts. Go ahead, toast them. Hey, are you still reading this? But they've broken them into, like, smaller increments, and these are the actual steps. I would like to be in the room watching somebody who has to consult these steps. Okay, number one, remove pastry from pouch. Oh, okay. Let me get them out of there. I see where they're going with this. We're banging on all cylinders now. Okay, number two, insert pastry. Okay. Vertically. Their head explodes.
Are people trying to cram those in?
Yeah, they're reading toaster directions. You got to tell them what the vertical concept is. Oh, my gosh. And then they have microwave directions, which just blew me away that you could microwave a Pop-Tart. I mean, how long does it take to toast a Pop-Tart? A minute and a half if you want them dark? Yeah. People don't have that kind of time? I figure, listen, if you need to zap fry your Pop-Tarts before you head out the door, you might want to loosen up your schedule.
You're right.
And I swear it says microwave on high for 3 seconds. Look at the box. 3 seconds. I don't think I want to wake up and be eating in 3 seconds. The alarm goes off. You put them in. Ding. Oh, it's late. I got to get out of here.
Let's grab listener Brian real fast. He has kind of an unusual request.
He does. Brian, you're on the air with Brian Regan. Go ahead.
Well, there, Brian. Hey, I was wondering what would be a good joke to ask my wife at the dinner table. About 3 weeks ago, she took off some on the internet, and now, since the money's running low, she's asked me for dinner, so I figured, that would be a good joke you could have for me to say.
You need a joke? I'll translate. You need a joke for your ex-wife.
Oh, yeah, well, it ain't ex yet, but...
She's not an ex yet. Okay.
You want her to be an ex?
It's going to be an ex.
Okay.
She met a guy on the internet.
Oh, yeah, wonderful guy.
Really?
Disability, 27, don't got a job.
Oh, man. Sounds like a winner.
Oh, yeah, pick the brightest, I guess.
And you want a good joke to tell the ex-wife?
Yeah, we got to have a good joke now for a dinner table amusement there.
Could you go into your ex-wife joke file for a second?
I think the Pop-Tart direction joke would be perfect in that situation.
Actually, not to disagree with the professional, but I think the monster truck joke would be better.
Well, hang on a second.
You just want to hear it.
Hang on a second.
Yeah, I just want to hear it.
Before we do that, let's take Chuck here. Hello, Chuck.
Hey.
I knew somebody was going to ask for it.
What's your request for Brian Regan, Chuck?
Oh, you got to do the ultimate, the monster truck one.
There you go.
I mean, he never comes and gets out without doing that.
Maybe this will help that previous caller, too.
I hope so.
I like watching the monster trucks on TV, I'm intrigued by them. I'm not sure what the race is. I'm not sure what's going on, but I still love watching. But my favorite part is not the actual event. I like when they interview the drivers when the race is over, because they always talk about their engine like you know what they're talking about. Hey, what were you thinking during that last run, Earl? Well, I was going pretty good, and about halfway through the flap coil valve burner started smoking. The hydro pen spring was spurting all out the manifold draft. I knew if I didn't overflood that gasket coming out that last pilot on unplayed transmission valve, I knew if I couldn't do that, I was going to have to shut her down.